Happy Monday from Getting Healthy with Coach Paris. I decided to come on here today and show you some really easy tools to have in your house to make planning and prepping easier. So I want to start with prepping. I would say that for most of my clients, the number one thing that they say that they just don't have time to do is prep. And prepping is part of living a healthy lifestyle. We can all go to the grocery store and we can all buy all the fruits and veggies and we can put them in the bottom drawer of the refrigerator and they can go bad. Let's not. So I'm going to show you some tools today. As you can see, I just got home from my weekly shopping trip. I go to Sam's for all my produce. Sometimes I go to Costco, but most of the time it's Sam's. I just run in. I love their scan and go. If you don't know about it and you're a Sam's member, it's the easiest thing. But I've already prepped all of my veggies. We've got eggs over here. Sorry, you can't see that. All the eggs are over there. All of those things have been washed. The tomatoes, the oranges, the apples, everything's already been washed. So all you have to do is grab them and cut them up, right? Super, super easy. So I'm going to show you some tools that I used this morning, for that matter. And you know, the number one thing that you have to have is a really good cutting board, right? And one of the things that I love about my cutting boards is that I can put them in the dishwasher. So I bought these at Sur La Table years ago, and I love them. They have held up forever. They also have little a thing on the edge so they don't slide, which is important, believe it or not. It is a really important thing. So this is mine, just wet because I just got done using it. But these are my big ones, and I just have this sitting on the counter all the time. So no matter what I need to cut up, it's just right there. Make it easy, right? If you have to go get the cutting board and find a knife and do all the things, sometimes it makes one more excuse to not do it, right? So first thing is have a really good set of cutting boards. This is my largest one, and then I have 3 other sizes. So if I'm doing meat on the same day, then I'll do that on a different cutting board. But again, I really like the dishwasher safe. I also like that it's wood. So it's not plexi, it's not any of those. I don't love them, they're noisy for one thing. So anyway, that's a personal opinion, and everything on here is a personal opinion, right? You may have some other things I'm gonna show you, and that's awesome. I love to hear from everybody. So if you have some other tools that you love to use, the next thing is a really good set of knives. And I got these knives for Christmas, and I'm in love. I love them so much. But here's the thing, most of us have a block of knives, we have all these knives, we don't know what half of them do. You need 4 knives in your kitchen. You really do, you need 4 knives. You need a really good chef knife, right? We need one of these. We need a really good paring knife. This one I use for cutting meat, getting all the fat off of meat. I've got this, and then you need a serrated knife for bread. That's all you need. You don't need a whole bunch of knives. So having really good quality knives, if you can find knives, these are never supposed to have to be sharpened. I got these on Amazon. I love them so much. So that's one. The next thing that I have, and this is so silly, but this is just a scoop, right? So when I scoop up and I make all of these things back here, or I chop up a bunch of onions or whatever, I can just scoop them up. Rachel Ray taught me years ago by watching her show. She taught me that we needed to have a bowl that's just a trash bowl. It'll save you hours. It's like you just throw everything in the trash bowl and throw everything in the trash. So simple. So have a really big bowl that you can use as a trash bowl. The next thing that makes my life really easy is for tenderizing meats. I have one of these, and it's just, you just stomp into the meat, and it has little scissor hands in there, and it just tenderizes your meat. Really easy. All you have to do is rinse it off, and then you're done, right? Yeah, so simple. $6. I love this. I love this one. And then I bought this recently because I had seen it on TV, and it works for eggs, it works for mushrooms, it works for bananas, avocados, and what I bought it for is strawberries. And as you can see, I've got a ton of strawberries over there. Strawberries this week are huge because it's Valentine's Day week. So I got this, see these little cutters on the bottom? You just put that little strawberry right there, just push it down, slices it. Slices your strawberries, your mushrooms, I love that pre-peppering ahead of time. do the prepping ahead of time. I'm gonna explain what's happening behind me in just a minute for those of you who don't already know me. The next thing I have, and if you don't, this is probably my favorite tool. I can make an entire huge salad in here just by throwing a tomato on, closing it. Put the carrots on, close it. It's wicked sharp. You have to be very careful and read the instructions on how to clean this thing because you can never touch that. I did it the first day. It can't be that sharp. Cut all of my fingers. I'm a good test candidate. This, I love it so much. And it comes with a lot more. This is just the one that I use all the time. I just throw anything in there. Onions, garlic, all of it. All just goes in there, rinse it off. You can store things in here, but I can make an entire chopped salad in here in about 10 minutes. Works for everything. Works for lettuce, works for everything. Love it. My next plan ahead tool and making sure if you need to prep a bunch of things all at one time, I mean a bunch of like chicken breasts, right? Get yourself a crock pot. I'm sure everybody has one. Who doesn't have a crock pot? I would love to hear from someone who doesn't have a crock pot. This is my little one, and I like to do this one, but I also have a double little one like this that I'll do chicken breasts, and I'll put the chicken breasts in with one with salsa and the other one with broth, and just make chicken breasts just so that they're ready to go. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because then all my chicken's cooked. You can cook it all and then you can freeze it. You can shred it and season it and freeze it so that you can just throw it into things. I'm doing that today. We have a whole bunch of chicken thighs that were in the freezer and also chicken breasts that were in the freezer. And I'm making a chicken dinner tonight with chimichurri. And then I'm also making, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and just cook everything up for chicken noodle soup tomorrow night. Makes it really easy when you can do everything together. I'm gonna do all of that on my George Foreman grill, which I forgot to bring over, so in just a minute I'll go get it so you can see it because it might be one of my favorite investments ever. So the last thing I'm gonna show you just that makes my life really simple, and I know a lot of people do these a lot of different ways, right? Hard-boiled eggs are one of the things that I try to make every week. I love them for a source of protein. Having them in the refrigerator, I just grab one in the morning, super easy, or an afternoon snack, whatever. I throw a little everything bagel seasoning on there and have that as a snack. I really like to have them. I also love egg salad and romaine lettuce. Little leaves, I just get those little things and just put it in the leaves, and instead of bread, have an egg salad at lunch. That one's one of my favorites too. It's behind me. I do all of mine in my Instapot. I know you guys have like a lot of people have the little ones that are, you just put 6 eggs in there and it pokes a hole and it does it. Those are great too. Super easy, countertop, tiny. I have just made the best eggs in my Instapot. I was never good at doing them on the countertop, and I know a lot of people out there are. So if this isn't a great tip for you, no big deal. You don't need an Instapot for this, although I will tell you your Instapot comes in handy for everything if you need to make a quick dinner. I like my crock pots for things when I'm not in a hurry, but I do use my Instapot all the time. So put the eggs in, I do 6, I do instant release, and I put them in a bowl of hot water, or cold water with ice. And again, always having a great amount of bowls. That's your next thing, is you need the bowls when you're prepping. So let me explain what's happening behind me. Anytime that I do any produce washing, anytime, and this is kind of a different video, but I'll just go over it since it's all there. Everything goes on the counter, especially, and the one that I want to talk about the most are these cucumbers. So I love cucumbers and hummus as snack, love it. It doesn't feel like carrots and celery, I don't know why, but I really do. And whenever I do them, if you put them back in a bowl and you put them in the fridge, what happens? They get super slimy and gross, right? We don't want super slimy and gross. So these have been sitting outside, or sitting on this tea towel. So that's one of my other tools, is have a ton of tea towels. Because on prep day, all of my counters are typically covered. I've already done my lettuce this week, so I don't need to do that, but all the towels, and I will leave the lettuce and the cucumbers and the radishes, strawberries, everybody's gonna be on the counter until about 5 o'clock today. And it is now it's 1, but all of these things have been sitting there since noon. So 5 hours or so. You make sure that you do them all in so there's not on top of anybody, because you want everything to dry out. The cool thing about this is then when you put them in baggies, which is how I do mine, I just put them in baggies and put them in the fridge. I always put with the paper towel, with the cucumbers, I still put in a little paper towel because it'll take any other moisture, but they'll get really dry and then they don't get slimy. So, but they do get a little bit of moisture back when they get in the refrigerator. They're fantastic. And I use them in place of potato chips at lunch sometimes, or they're ready if I want to just chop them up and turn them into a salad. All of those things are already done. 5 minutes, takes about 5 minutes. So there's some tools for you. That's where we were starting today. Just some tools that maybe you don't think about. I'm gonna go get 2 more things that I have to show you because I forgot to bring them and I apologize. Be right back. So this has been a lifesaver and I love it. This is a baby George Foreman grill. Cost me $20. I did grow up in the 80s. I was raising children in the 90s. So George Foreman was kind of part of everyone's life back then. This one is just one that holds a couple chicken breasts. I can make 2 chicken breasts in about 6 minutes on this thing. I'm gonna cook up all the chicken that we're having, including the stuff that's gonna go into our chicken noodle soup tomorrow. There'll probably be extra, I'll just freeze it. But I get it all cooked up, it's done. It's calorie free. You're not adding any oil, you're not doing any of those, none of that stuff. And they cook up beautifully and you get a grill taste to them. I also love to do pineapple on here. It takes 5 minutes. It takes like 3 minutes to clean the darn thing up too. Love it, love it. So this is another big one. Get yourself a $19 George Foreman grill to have to use to cook chicken breasts. We make burgers on there. I have a beautiful grill in my backyard in the winter time. I don't go out there much. So I still get to have that, but also super fast. I can be cooking chicken breast while I'm chopping up lettuce, right? So super fast. The last thing I want to show you, and I got this for Christmas, it was a super fun treat. This is my olive oil, and as you can see, I'll hold it up. It says 1 tablespoon, it says teaspoons, tablespoons, all the way up, and all you have to do is just push it, and it fills up, and you get to measure, because you need to measure your oils when you're using them. We always, avocado, we have 1 for avocado, and we have 1 for olive oil. Those are the only 2 oils that Coach Paris has in her house. So that's where we're at. Isn't that great? It's so great. I love this little thing. So I've shared with you a few simple tips. There'll be lots more coming over time, but I just really wanted you to see some of the things that I was doing today, some of the things I was using. Super easy cleanup. You don't need a ton of things. And even this may seem like a lot to you, but it's not. It's really not. And if you know, knives, if nothing else, reduce the amount of knives you have in your house. Make sure they're good and sharp. That's my thing. You know, you gotta, if you're gonna be a chopper and you gotta do those things, just make sure you have good quality knives, cutting boards. Don't ever run your knives in the dishwasher. I know you know all those little tips, right? All right, I'm gonna end right there. Please do this for me. Follow, subscribe. I always forget what I'm doing. Subscribe to my channel. More and more things are coming consistently. Every time I come in with something like, oh, I need to go make a video. So lots of fun, easy tips are coming. Making sure if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to know more about, please just pop them in the comments. And share me with your friends. Follow me. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, Always on Your Side Coaching. Both of those are on Instagram and Facebook. Also, LinkedIn, Paris Heinen on LinkedIn. And also I think Always on Your Side Coaching is on there too. It's just usually I post everything under my name. And then the other thing is make sure that you are signed up for, because we do at least 1 recipe share every week, possibly 2. Go to my website, AlwaysOnYourSideCoaching.com, fill out the little pop-up that says, do you want to receive newsletters from us? I will make you a few promises. The first promise I'll make you is you'll never get a bunch of junk, not a bunch of advertisement. There is no advertisements at this time. There's no advertisements on my blog. I did a blog this last week on setting goals. I'm doing a blog that'll come out on Wednesday on my 3-month anniversary of no sugar. That'll be coming out this week, so there's got some really great fun things in there. I just send out good quality information. I'm never gonna spam you. I'm not gonna share your email addresses with anybody, none of that. So make sure you're signed up for it. If you're watching this and you think that you were signed up for this, if you did not get an email on Saturday from me about goal setting, Friday or Saturday, I think it was Friday, on goal setting, or an email about Super Bowl snacks, which I did send out as well, then you're not on the right list. So make sure you get yourself signed up for the email list. All right, have a super great day. I'll keep this a little bit short. It's 15 minutes. You should be all right. All right, have a great day. Any questions you have, you can always message me, pop them in the comments on this channel. We'll talk soon.